Hi there, my name is Felix Becken, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. So yeah, one of the good things about having a YouTube channel is you're essentially your own boss. You can do whatever you really want. The truth is, you are the boss, so you decide what I do, what I don't do. But if you have an idea, you can just go and make a video, throw it against the wall, see if it sticks. So this is one of those videos. This is one of the videos. It might be the first in a series. It might be the only one I ever do. Again, completely up to you guys. I was thinking last night, what makes a great comic? What are the component parts that make up a absolutely fantastic comic? And I think without it, you know, a comic just fails. It just falls apart. And so I started breaking it up into its component parts. I thought, oh, you know, this actually makes quite an interesting series. So yeah, that's what we're going to talk about. And what we're going to be talking about today in this video is pacing. Pacing is something that, you know, you normally doesn't really notice. Yeah, most people don't really notice, but they do notice if it's wrong. If it's wrong, it just feels wrong, and that's what we're going to be talking about. We're going to talk about, I think, you know, great writers that have really managed this really well. We're going to be talking about Sciver's Cyberfrog, which I understand is a little bit psychopathic because, you know, I very much want to get on Ethan's channel at some point and have him promote my comics. So yeah, 100%. This is very arse-licky, but it just happens to be the truth as well. So, you know, I don't know what to tell you. Listen, it's a win-win, baby. It's a win-win. That's the way I look at it. Well, before we get into it, can I ask you guys, can you hit that like button? Can you hit that share button? But could you mostly go up to the subscribe button and lovingly caress it and give it a digital kiss? Can you subscribe to the channel? That'll be fantastic. Now, what's going to happen if you subscribe? Many things. Many things will happen. There are going to be, you know, universes will explode with pleasure and angels will weep. But you won't notice any of that stuff because it happens a long way away. What will happen is you make a rabbi very happy. And that's something you don't get every day unless you come to my channel and then I essentially say the same thing in every one of my videos, right? You get to make a rabbi very happy. Something you don't get, you can't come across in the street. Also, you get to enter my ongoing competitions. The prize this week is actually, this is a 2-weeker because the Jewish New Year is starts Friday night, goes from Saturday to Sunday, and I'm always offline on the Sabbaths, on Jewish holidays. It's just nature of the beast, baby. So I normally do the prize draw on Sunday. I'm probably not going to be doing it this Sunday, so it'll be next week. So I'm guessing it's September 27th. September 27th will be my guess, unless there's another Jewish holiday, which I forgot or I looked at the calendar wrong. All these things are possible. What is the prize, I hear you asking? It is the fantastic special edition, 4-disc special edition of Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers, which is my favourite of the Lord of the Rings movies. Actually, it has my favourite battle as well, Helm's Deep. The Battle of Helm's Deep, freaking awesome. I think probably one of the best battles committed to film. Or committed to digital, whatever you want to describe it. I would say even better than that little battle you have at the beginning of the first Lord of the Rings movie when you got all the armies of man and the elves all lined up, and Sauron comes out with that giant, war mace and flashing away at like dozens of people at once. Freaking love that. But it's only on for 5 minutes. Helm's Deep goes for a good, hour and a half. Absolutely fantastic. So yeah, all you need to do to win it is subscribe to the channel. Subscribe, and in the comments leave the hashtag Helm's Deep. That's UK. That's my favorite part of the movie. HELMSDEEP. Go check the video notes. You can just copy and paste. That's the easier thing. Just copy and paste. And good luck. Good luck if you enter. Fine. So, we're talking about the art of making comics. The art of making comics, the art of what makes a great comic, and we're talking about pacing. So what is pacing? Pacing is, something I hate, something I absolutely hate in comics is when it's a chore to read. It's when you're like reading it, oh God, another page, and you're like, God, I've got another 20 pages of it, and it's just like wading through mud, and you absolutely hate it. No, listen, if I had any sense, I'll put a comic book down at that point, but normally, if I'm reading a comic and it's like, and its pacing is off and it's making me crawl through, crawl through glue to get through it. I go, but I pay for it. Listen, it's those Jewy, it's those Jewy roots in me. I can't get rid of them, baby. That's just who I am. If I pay for it, no matter how much I hate it, I'm gonna read it. But it just makes a freaking terrible comic, and you can tell somebody who knows how to make comics as opposed to somebody who doesn't know how to make comics. It's really the issue of pacing. The other problem with pacing, the other thing you have to watch out for with pacing is if it's too light. If you if you have a 22-page comic and you go brrr, and it's gone. Now that's actually what was mostly you know, the SJW comics. You know, yeah, whatever. I was going to name a bunch, but it does, you know what I mean? You know, when there's like no real conflict, it's basically lots of women being super friends with each other and go yay and having no threat, and then it's over. It's like it's ridiculous. It's just too. It's too light. It's too brief, and you know you feel gypped. So that finding that balance, that absolute balance of pacing, is not easy, and I think it's something that's you know, intuitive. And so I was thinking about comics in you know, in the recent past that I've read, and honestly, one of the best examples of pacing is Cyberfrog. Cyberfrog is freaking perfect. In fact, I'm going to argue that Cyberfrog is, and I've only ever read Blood Honey. I haven't read whatever the second Wreck Planet. I haven't read that. Is it out yet? It hasn't shipped it yet, right? By the way, comes with a Cyberfrog toy. I'm this close. I'm this close to getting the Salamandroid as well, but the shipping is going to be it's like, am I going to pay another $40-50 on that? Even though freaking awesome toys. Now, listen, I'm really glad for Ethan's successor, but the actual comic at the heart of it is, again, an absolute masterwork. The pacing is just right. It goes along at a nice pace, right? You don't feel like you're pushing at any point, but it tells the story, and at the end of it, you have a whole meaty experience, something that you feel that you've got your money's worth, out the experience, and that's something that takes. There's an innate skill to it, and again, if it's not there, you really notice it. So you know, let's some examples of really good pacing. Bendis, Brian Michael Bendis, which I understand is, you know, he does, you know, he was kind of like the Pied Piper of the SJWs to bring them into comics, and he's like a massive Portland guy. I'm sure he's enjoying the city burning down and whatever the crazy things are going on. But boy, can he write a comic! He can write a great comic. I didn't read his Ultimate Spider-Man run. I honestly, Ed Begley's artwork just didn't really, you know, connect with me at all. I felt it was too cartoonish. I understand a lot of people like it, but then when he started the Miles Morales run. That's it. Miles Morales run. I started there. I preferred the artwork a lot more. Who was that? Oh, Sarah Pichelli. Freaking awesome. Love her work. Absolutely. But each issue is perfectly balanced. Absolutely perfectly. Same with Powers. Each issue is perfectly balanced. That you get your money's worth. You get a decent bite of a story, but you don't feel like you're wading through mud to get through it. Brian Azzarello. Oh, by the way, Powers. Each issue of Powers, an absolute masterwork. And you know, that's why I think if you're doing longer comics, if you're doing like a one-shot graphic novel, like a 100-page graphic novel. The pacing really has to change, and I honestly think it works best when you make it episodic. But honestly, what do I know? I really don't know. You know, one of the drawbacks of being like where I write and draw comics, but one of the drawbacks is that I have no idea. I have no idea if this is something I aspire to. I have no idea whatsoever if I have people read my comics. Obviously, I've sold a bunch, but you know, I haven't. I need a large body of people to read it and go, oh, that's so. But it's also a terrifying experience because you know we've all seen American Idol or Britain's Got Talent, America's Got Talent, when people come out and they just think, they're the greatest singer ever. They think they sing like an angel, and they say, and it's awful. So that's really what might be happening, But something that I do with all my comics, and I think happens with Comicsgate comics in general, is that I will not put something out that isn't the absolute best I can do. And that's been the whole way. I've been making comics about 9 years now, and that's always been the way that I approach it. Every comic I've done, I've been insanely proud of when I finish it, because it's been a far greater level of ability than I thought I could muster before I started it. And so like each comic I finish, I'm like, oh my god, I am so insanely proud of it. And then I do the next one and it's better, right? And you push and always you try and do the absolute best. And now, I said, so I look at my stuff and go, that's pretty darn good. That's pretty darn good. I think that's great. But who knows? I honestly don't know, which is one of the reasons I'm really looking forward to I'm getting close. I'm getting close to be launching my Indiegogos. That's why I started the channel for. Be honest with you, make a plan. I'm getting up there. Fine. So But again, no idea if it's something I aspire to, but no idea if good pacing is something that I achieve. So yeah, somebody else has great pacing. But Brian Azzarello. No, actually, I haven't read much of his stuff since. Was it 100 Bullets? And I found like his longer stuff, like the Joker graphic novel or the Batman. Batman was better. The Joker one dragged a little bit. You know, again, don't like my comics read, but 100 Bullets, each issue though, whiz by, and you got like a satisfying story out of it. Grant Morrison, another one, absolute master of the craft. Although I would say when he works with Frank Quietly, something really interesting happens, because Frank Quietly's artwork is so smooth, it's so frictionless, right? It's so like incredibly fast that you read his comics a little bit quicker than you do with somebody else. So like a Grant Morrison book drawn by was it Frank Quietly, and it's actually the same is true as when was it Mark Miller as well. They just seem to be about 10% too quick, like 5-10%. So especially was it Jupiter's Children? It's Jupiter's Children. Yeah, it just seemed to whip it by a little bit too quick. The other thing is the prequel series to that, Jupiter's Legacy. I can't remember. You know the ones we're talking about. Which had a different art team on it. The pacing was pretty much, but in fact, actually, if anything, it seemed a tiny bit slower. You know, than what I think perfect pacing is. Yeah, the great exception to this rule for me is Alan Moore. Alan Moore, his work is an insane amount of work nowadays. Any comic book stuff he does, I'm in the middle of reading the final League of Extraordinary Gentlemen book. It's been taking forever because it is such an incredibly dense read. Now, Alan Moore has the luxury of having an incredibly strong fan base, like me, for example. You know, like I will put the effort and the time in to access his stories, but he makes you work hard for it. And my theory is this: I think it's his copyright protection program. Like, you know, I think he's very very upset, very bored by people adapting his work and not understanding, or just taking a absolute piss over it. Yeah, actually, you know, I never really understood that until I think a few years ago, when we got like the current iterations of Doctor Who, of Star Trek, or Star Wars, where they took something that I absolutely loved, I absolutely adored, and they bastardized it. They did an absolutely terrible version of it. So I can imagine that being like a billion times worse for Alan Moore when he sees anybody adapt Watchmen. I mean, like, I can understand why he doesn't watch the adaptations of his stuff. I wouldn't want to wish him the pain on himself to see the HBO adaptation or a sequel to Watchmen, which was they had one episode in it which I thought was one of the best episodes of TV over the last year. But mostly it was awful. Mostly it was absolutely awful. But the production values, and there's a lot of great ideas in it, but mostly this package was absolutely awful. I think Alan Moore just makes his work so dense, so hard to access. So because he doesn't want idiots to read it and then adapt it. So I talked about Mark Miller, Warren Ellis. Look at his Authority run with Brian Hitchner. Absolutely perfect. I've got a wonderful marriage of storytelling, artwork, and pacing. The pacing is 100% spot on. And again, I think the only place we really see this is Comicsgate. I want to give a shout out to Michael Bancroft. Michael Bancroft's Lucent comic, pacing perfect. Absolutely perfect. But the thing that we see in Comicsgate Comics, and again, we're going to go back to Cyberfrog, is that every panel of it, every page, every issue, everything about it has to be the best it can possibly be. There is no, that will do. And then when you get somebody who's like really, really genuinely talented and has decades of experience in the industry, like Ethan Sciver, you get a piece of absolute comic book masterwork. It's which is what I feel Cyberfrog is. But I want to say, as lovingly as I'm talking about Cyberfrog, it's not really to my taste. It's not the type of comic that I like. I just really, completely, totally respect the artistry involved. So there, again, perfect marriage of idea, of pacing, of artwork. The artwork, I think, is Ethan's best in his career, and he's had a good career. The artwork is absolutely perfect, and he get this absolutely wonderful package. Why? Because he cares about every freaking drop of it. And again, that is why my heart is and will ever be Comicsgate, because that is. Every comic that comes out in it, every comic that comes out is dripping with this love. And that's why I think more often than not, they do hit the nail on the head with pacing, just about perfectly. And especially given that you get like maybe an issue, 2 issues a year if you're lucky. They just, and the page count is different. I'll say your boy Zach's works as well. It's the first jaw breaks I thought was a bit clunky. I thought the pacing was too quick, then too slow, too quick, too slow. But as he's progressed, I first find his work just goes a lot smoother. But again, I more than anything else, I think the heart behind all of them, is the selling point, is the absolute selling point. So there you go. First in the series, I might do more, I might do less. It's totally up to you guys. Let me know what you think. My name is Sciver, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.